You might be wondering, what am I doing? Okay, relax, I'll explain. I was tasting foods of various different places in India. And to my amazement, they are greatly different. Let's see why. You may know that the food you eat comes from farms. It is grown by farmers. But how do you think it started? Do you remember about climate change in the previous chapter? By this time, the world was changing, and so did the plants and animals that people used to eat. People observed this and learned how to grow plants. They observed carefully that what plants is edible, and how the seeds fall off and start to grow, then ultimately become plants. This is how they became farmers. Once they knew how to grow plants, they started taming animals. The first animal to be tamed was wild ancestor of dog. By the way, tamed means domesticated, that is, pet. Later, a lot of different animals were tamed, like sheep, goat, cattle, and also the pig lived in herds, and most of them ate grass. These were relatively gentle animals. They protected these animals from other wild animals. This is how they became herders. Domestication is the name given to the process in which people grow plants and look after animals. Domestication was a gradual process that took place in many parts of the world. It began about 12,000 years ago. Some of the earliest plants to be domesticated were wheat and barley. The earliest domesticated animals include sheep and goat. Have you ever shifted from your home to change your lifestyle? Or have you ever listened to your elders saying that the life nowadays has changed a lot? So, don't you think that these changes might have occurred in past as well? So, just as I mentioned earlier, due to climate change, people started knowing more and more about plants. As a result, they started growing them. This eventually led to a change in their lifestyles. Wait, what's the relation between plants and lifestyle now? You might have observed a plant growing. Does it grow overnight? This was the greatest reason for change in their lifestyles. As plants took time to grow, they had to stay at one place for a long time. Different works like looking after the plants, watering, weeding, driving away animals and birds, till the grain ripened. And then, the grain had to be used carefully. And to store them they used clay pots, or wove baskets, or dug pits into the ground. As we saw, people not only took care of plants, but they also reared animals. They did so as animals acted as stores of food for them. Animals and food, what are you saying? It is simple. A lot of animals when reared give milk, which is essential part of diet. Also, whenever required, meat can be taken from them. Thus, animals worked as a store of food. After knowing a lot about people towards plants and animals, aren't you excited to know about the first farmers and herders? Let's know what archaeologists have found out about them. Look at the places marked with blue squares. These are the places where archaeologists found evidences of early farmers and herders. These are found all over the subcontinent. Some of the most important ones are in the northwest, in present-day Kashmir, and in East and South India. But, why do you wonder? How do we know that what crops were grown? All thanks to the scientists. One of the most exciting way in which they find about past is experimenting burnt crops. Scientists can identify these grains, and so we know that a number of crops were grown in different parts of the subcontinent. They can also identify the bones of different animals. The following table shows about some of such findings.